Último deseo. Pues sí, hay que hacer eso. Last wish. Larvik. En el oeste, solicitud de brillo, necesito un tutor para mi hija. Contrato monstruo, camino principal, carrera por la gloria, contrato mortal. Ah, hice la de mortal.
Always did know how to win, friends.
I was provoked.
Y el cita no llega del cine, pa, ahorita que llegue.
Saw it happen. Wanted to talk to me about something?
Amos Far Ipsis, a specialist on djinns. Heard of him? I found a tome he'd penned in the Emperor's library. Far Ipsis set off for Skellige one day and was never heard from again. I asked some of the local folk. Some here still remember him.
They know what happened to him?
The locals say they last saw his ship off the coast of Hindisfjall. Then a once-in-an-eon storm broke.
So he's probably fish food by now.
Not necessarily. I must learn what became of him.
Why? Do you know him?
No. It's not the mage who interests me. It's his djinn.
You sure this mage actually had a djinn?
His books strongly suggest he did. He describes taming one, harnessing energy from its power.
Storm wouldn't pose a threat if he'd had a djinn. He could just utter a wish.
Perhaps he had none left, or something unexpected happened.
Why are you even interested? Djinns are dangerous sometimes, and malicious all the time.
I remember. But the advantages outweigh the risks. If I can tame a djinn, I shall gain incredible power. And that could be useful to us one of these days.
All right, so what exactly do you expect me to do?
You must help me find this djinn. I've no gold to offer in reward, but I shall be ever so grateful.
Since you put it that way, fine, I'll help you.
Thank you. A boat awaits in the harbor. Come.
Come.
Then the Jarl of Hindisfjall sacrificed the whole flock to the gods, so they'd send a man with courage and
See, you've managed to prepare everything already.
I have.
How could you possibly know I'd agree?
I didn't. Decided to risk it.
Oh, that would make quick work of the beast.
Lead the way.
Just once, you might try to take the initiative.
Would you even let me?
It would depend on the situation.
Ah.
Respect, Witcher. Priestess is a terrible crossway. You and the sorceress both.
En el barcote.
The ship carrying the djinn sank somewhere in this area.
Not too precise as leads go.
I'll cast a spell on our boat. We'll know if there are any wrecks on the seafloor below us.
All right, let's get to work.
Mind if I take the helm?
I got a choice.
No.
Pues mejor, güey. Tengo que sentar.
Getting in or not?
Se tiene que sentar.
Not sure this gin thing's a good idea.
We managed to seize one before. Do you remember?
Of course. Dandelion almost lost his voice that time.
How lucky your exorcism saved it. It was poetic.
Yeah, how was I supposed to know that incantation meant begone and plow yourself?
You should have studied foreign languages.
Gonna keep bringing that up for the rest of my life.
Of course. Your last wish effectively assured it.
My wish was about us being together always, not about you mocking my every mistake.
Careful what you wish for. And when your wish is granted, you must accept it with all attendant circumstances.
Yeah.
And as for your missteps, I don't rightly see why I shouldn't laugh at their amusement. There's something here, on the bottom. It's too deep here. You can't dive that long.
You underestimate me.
On the contrary. After all, I asked you for help. I'll cast a spell. It will slow your heart for a time. You can stay submerged.
¿Qué anda?
Esad I Criede Rithorn. Ready. Careful down there.
Ok.
How's your bath? Water warm enough for you?
Ah, le hizo un hoyote. Ah, sí es cierto, no tengo el de oxígeno.
How's it going?
Yeah, and you know I hate it when you read my mind.
Strictly speaking, I'm not reading your mind, but using telepathy. Besides, you've nothing to hide, right?
Wouldn't admit it if I did. Not the point.
See anything interesting?
A shipwreck in the cavern. I'll look inside.
Dale, güey, nos van a matar. A huevo. ¿Qué es lo que busco, mija? ¿Qué onda?
Snapped masts, busted planks, and a whole swarm of drowners. Probably drawn by the corpses of drowned crew, then made their nest here. There's also a Clan Drummond figurehead.
Aguante, el saqueo siempre ha sido lo mío. ¿Por qué me voy a ir tan rápido? Ok, vamos, no hay nada. Pam, param, pam, pararam. Interesante. Quiero ese hechizo eternamente. Listo. Siéntate, hijo. Ahí salió el ahogado.
Where's you now?
Wherever the leads take us.
¿Dónde estamos? Ah, estamos lejos.
Say we find the djinn. What'll you do? Ask for a beautiful house, and a palace, and a queen's crown?
Are we still talking about the gym? Have we moved on to the talking fish?
Doesn't much matter. Both make wishes come true. What would yours be?
You learn in due course.
Llegamos.
Something's here. Another wreck.
Let's see if our djinn's down there.
Si me tomo la del ahogado funcionará para que no me quieran comer. Es esta, ¿no?
Found a wreck. It's been here a while. Wood's rotted.
Look around, but be careful. Look for something that might indicate it's the Major's ship.
Got something. A Skelliger's buckler. Clan Hamai symbols.
Donar's clan.
Donar was a babe in swaddling clothes when this buckler landed here. Got something. A Skelliger's buckler. Clan Hamai symbols.
Donar's clan.
Donar was a babe in swaddling clothes when this buckler landed here.
Chale, eran sirenas, no gatos.
Got something. A Skelliger's buckler. Clan Hamai symbols.
Donar's clan.
Donar was a babe in swaddling clothes when this buckler landed here. Got something. A Skelliger's buckler. Clan Hamai symbols.
Donar's clan.
Donar was a babe in swaddling clothes when this buckler landed here.
Se ven ni madres.
Beautiful craftsmanship.
What do you have?
A war horn, bearing Clan Hamai symbols. Longship belonged to Clan Dimon. Yen, doubt any of these boats were the mages. These are old sunken longships.
Come back then. We must search elsewhere.
Last squish.
You're getting better at this.
Go even quicker if you helped me down there.
I prefer to observe matters from afar, most definitely.
Yeah, like when we were looking for the Golden Dragon and an avalanche swept us off the trail. Me clinging to the remains of a bridge for dear life. You gripping my waist, admiring the view. Remember? Chasm below us was breathtaking. Rustling trees, a lazily flowing stream.
I remember, though I found myself admiring what I had right in front of me. Something strange about those notes.
And there's something on the bottom. We'll see what it is.
Aquí sí hay algo, ¿no?
See something?
Something doesn't do it justice. A huge crater, as if a meteorite landed here.
I must see it.
Diving in after all?
No, I shall cast another spell, to see through your eyes. Now relax. I sulfoltia bedem ein eichte illivade. That is no meteorite crater.
What is it then?
The effect of teleportation. A powerful force cut out a fragment of the seabed, rocks and everything lying within the teleportation zone.
Always claimed portals were dangerous.
I believe we're on the right track. Look for anything that might contain a djinn.
Fine, but get out of my eyes. Too cramped in here for us both.
I sulfol...
Silver, pearl-encrusted cutlery. Ship belonged to someone awfully wealthy.
Amos was no pauper. It could very well be his ship.
Mata esa culera, güey.
No gin here, but there's something you ought to like.
What?
Half a seal.
That'll do. Come back up.
Espera, espera, espera. Boo. Boo. Neta, nada chido aquí abajo. Ay, ¿cuántos años me dijeron? 4. Ya no me acuerdo. Fuck. Volví.
Only found half. Can you do anything with this?
I can use it to locate the other half, to within a dozen yards.
And once we find that, we should find the gin.
Exactly. Ready? I'll take us there on the count of 3.
Oh, no, not another portal.
Stop whining. 1, 2.
3.
3.
Said you were gonna go on 3.
I did. Look, we must search the area.
Yen, not so fast. Gotta tell me what this is about first. Why do you want this djinn?
But you already know. A djinn's power is priceless to a mage.
Cuéntalo, me voy.
That I know, but I also want to know how you plan to use it. Wouldn't go to these lengths if it wasn't something important.
You're right. It's important. Even very important. How long has this been going on, Geralt? This thing between us? 15, 20 years? We repeatedly split up, then returned to one another. Something draws us to each other, but I can never be certain if it's a true feeling or merely a bit of mischief by a djinn.
So that's it? This is about my last wish?
You asked that djinn to bind us together forever. I want to ask this one to take that wish back.
Why would you want to do that?
To see what it's like without it. To see if we'll still matter to one another, or if we'll be like two strangers.
What if I don't want to know?
I'm afraid you no longer have a choice. Come, let's search the ship.
No, me lo mando. Pobrecita. Ah. Vamos a andar aquí, nos mandó hasta acá.
Seems Amos was quite the eccentric, asking the djinn to lift half his ship to a mountaintop.
He didn't necessarily. Djinns are inherently mischievous. This one might have granted his wish and perverted it in doing so.
In that case, I'd appreciate it if you didn't wish I'd disappear from your life.
I've yet to decide how to word it. We should explore the ship.
Nothing interesting. Nothing interesting here. Interesting.
A ver. Botitas nuevas. Tengo el nivel pesas, que desgracia.
Wonder what this means. Mystery of Mysteries, Agnes of Glanville. Elemental Empires, by James must have slept here. Nothing interesting. Nothing interesting here. Wonder what this means. Nice shoes. Looks like the impact with the mountain was so powerful it popped the wearer right out of them. Nice shoes. Looks like the impact with the mountain was so powerful it popped the wearer right out of them. Someone was dragged across the deck. War left this mark when the ship suddenly tipped to one side. Yen, think you should see this.
What do you have? It's Amos. Looks exactly like the etching in the book. Except his head was intact there.
Think the Jinn did this to him?
No, it wouldn't attack its master. This looks rather like an unfortunate accident. When the storm broke, Amos must have uttered a wish like, "Take us away, anywhere, to a mountaintop, even." And the Jinn granted the wish literally. They had a hard landing. Amos was thrown off his feet and against the wall. The bookcase did the rest.
Always knew too much studying could kill you. If he died while being teleported, Seal might still be on him. Behold.
Bravo! Come to the deck. I've an idea.
Bravo.
Colds preserved the corpse. Died from head trauma. Bookcase cracked his skull. Must have been a hard landing atop this mountain.
Come with me. I've an idea. Step back a bit.
What are you going to do?
Summon and tame the Jinn. It's not likely to be happy. Stand at the ready.
Tame Jinn, Vrif Kaishta El Gaia, Kaishta et Disglare, Gevired Mi Castle.
Take it you have a plan.
You must weaken him while I draw him into the sphere.
Care to trade places?
le
Come
gana la
on, come
nube?
closer.
Ok, no entrega mi pócima poderosa del rayo. Pendejo, porque me gasté una. Ah, esto no hace daño. Nah.
Well, how long you gonna make me wait?
Just a bit more. I can feel his strength waning.
Cabrón, güey, se nubecita.
Got you!
Como
Your
un Pokémon.
master died before uttering his last wish. I cannot capture you. We can struggle like this for eternity, or I can release you. If you do one thing for me. Do you see the spell that binds us? Only a Jinn can remove another Jinn's spell. Remove this one and you'll be free. You are free!
¿A poco pasaba esto? Ya no me acuerdo.
Storm's over.
Yes. It's all over.
Maybe we should sit. You look a bit dazed.
I'm not, but we can sit.
Feel any better?
I told you, I'm fine.
Don't need to play tough for me. That was a hard fight. Maybe not as hard as the last time we tamed a Jinn, but still.
No comparison, I'm afraid. Half of Rind suffered then. Now I'm merely a bit tired. Thank you for coming, Geralt. I'd have had a much harder time of it on my own.
Well, never could say no to you.
Perhaps that will change now.
Feel anything? That anything's different?
I expected... I don't know what I expected, actually. A bit of vertigo, perhaps. I thought you'd become a stranger to me, that I'd look at you and not feel a thing. But it's not like that at all. Nothing's changed.
Ah, no, más la puedo mandar a la shit. No.
Jin might have cheated us after all.
Why?
Because I don't feel that anything's changed either. I love you, Yen.
And I love you.
Así es, así es. Por esto no elegí actriz. Aunque pude.
What was that?
It can't be all sweetness and light.
Strange. Done that so many times.
¿Qué? ¿Por qué me quitaron la escena?
It felt like our first kiss to me.
It was, in a way. Besides, once you say I love you, a kiss has to taste differently.
No lo dejemos en un beso.
Maybe we ought to test a few other things. Amos's cabin looked cozy.
Not so fast, Geralt. We'll have plenty of time to visit cozy cabins later. But I doubt the world will end if we sit here a while.
Ah, bueno, es todo un romántico, Gerardo. Míralo.
My, it's lovely.
Ah, perro. Sí, creo que esto no lo hice la primera vez. Porque en el DLC no aparece ella. Ay, a mí me dejan el pinche barco. ¿O me llevó? Ah, no, sí me llevó. Qué bonito.
Next time we go on horseback.
A horse would never make it down that mountain.
What now?
Well, I'm due to appear in Vizima. We must report to the Emperor after all.
Ciri's our concern, and only ours.
At heart, perhaps. But it's not what we agreed with Emir. We must see him.
Muy leal.
Awfully loyal to your patron.
He happens to be your patron as well, darling. You'd do well to remember that. Otherwise he might feel compelled to remind you.
Chale, no quiero.
If we gotta, we gotta.
We wouldn't have known Ciri had returned if not for the Emperor and his agents. It's the least we can do.
Yen, what happened back there?
Was very nice. Let's not ruin it by hashing out the details.
I'm going to see the Baron. Collect Uma from him, then we'll ride for Kaer Morhen.
I shall join you as
Uma,
quickly
yo no
as
me
I
acordaba
can.
de Uma.
See you, Yen. Take care of yourself.
Geralt?
Bueno.
So, feel any different after our encounter with the Jinn?
Yes. Now I feel... regret.
Chale.
Mean to say that
That I regret we didn't try that earlier. Much earlier.
think we would have argued less?
Quite the opposite. But the other moments would have been more intense as well. Moments like this.
Interesante.
Ever think about the past? About your time with the hunt?
At times, I'm amazed we survived. Eridan's not usually one to leave witnesses behind.
That's just it. He didn't. Lost my memory when I escaped the hunt.
Ah, yes. Your famous amnesia.
You
Fue
didn't
real.
have it?
For a short time only. Once the Emperor's mages got their hands on me, my memory quickly returned.
When the hunt had you, hope they didn't hurt you.
Even if they did, I've no memory of it. The whole time's but a string of phantom images. Blood and fire. A wild chase through different worlds, all shrouded in fog. Though I do remember you coming for me, trading your life for mine. I hadn't the chance to thank you then.
You'd have done the same for me.
I'm touched by your certainty. But you've yet to tell me how you escaped them.
Wouldn't mind knowing that myself. There are times I remember rushing forward, Red Riders around me. Next thing I know, I'm in the woods at the foot of Kaer Morhen. That's it. What did Aridin want from you exactly?
The same thing he wanted from you. You don't recall?
Draw a blank on most of my time with him.
We were bait, Geralt. Both of us. Aridin believed Ciri would come for us sooner or later and he would capture her. Fortunately, she didn't fall for it.
How do you go from being the Emperor's hostage to being his ally?
One day, the door of my cell opened, and instead of seeing the usual officer, I saw Emir. He promised to release me and grant me free reign of the Imperial Treasury, provided I did what he asked.
He told you about Ciri, and you accepted his offer. Why?
Shared aims make for strange bedfellows. I knew I had to find Ciri before Aridin did, and if any man had the power and the means to help me, it was the Emperor. Besides, once all's said and done, he is her father.
Why didn't you look for me after you'd recovered your memory and your freedom?
I assumed you would recover quickly and find me first.
You had mages to help you. I was on my own.
Well, not entirely. Besides, I knew you'd fled the hunt. Aridin would never have let you go. He'd erased my memory, but you escaped. It was wholly possible he hadn't had the chance with you. And there were your Witcher mutations. I expected they'd stave off any serious injury.
Madre, sabe un chingo de él, güey.
Still can't get something out of my mind.
What?
Found something that might belong to you. That skull some sort of accessory? If so, you've changed your style a bit.
It's a weapon.
Don't remember ever seeing you with that.
It's as you said. I've changed my style.
Thanks, Yen. See you later.
Yennefer. Esa tía Yen. ¿Qué iba a guardar, güey? No, estas que ya no voy a usar. Estas las voy a vender, vender. Vámonos. No, ya no está el pony, cochinote. Que tiene un filtro de Instagram esta cosa, güey.
You see the white from this day on. My home is your work. Don't eat so much. Why the spit not? Because they get hit in the gut. See the plan?
Primero lo primero.
Such thing as bad shit.
Vender las armas. Yennefer.
The favor Lady Brown did for her son sure did bear.
Little Logan's birthday tomorrow. I've no clue what to give her. Did you sever?
What's this? That's, a door. So you're back. Was right, wasn't I?
Wouldn't mind a look at your stock.
Su madre, si está re caro todo lo que le doy. Se quedó con 4 pesos. Es justo que te compre algo. Estas se ven chidas y son reliquia. Otra de la gente de los asilos. Sí, ya no te puedo vender eso. Planes.
So long.
Espera, decía algo, ¿qué?
So you're back.
No, olvídalo.
So long.
Tengo que encontrarte para vender en las sillas. Ah, perro, están chidas sus armaduras. Con cuernitos. Yo puedo pasar. Quítese. Dile al sargento Ladrón que quieres llevarte a Uma.
Foreigner, what's your step?
Ah, mira, aquí está.
Your Royal Majesty. Would you spare a moment?
Come on, Geralt. I'm the same lass I was, save for the title. A lot of things changed.
How's it feel to rule? Jarl's giving you any trouble?
They're all very understanding. They seem to believe in me. Besides Lugos, of course.
Tried talking to him? Could still win him over.
I don't know about that. He's more mule-headed than my father, but I'll try, of course.
Sad when someone like Bran dies. Everyone says he was a good king.
It's not fitting to speak elsewise about the dead.
Mean you don't agree?
Bran spent his life at sea. And while he was away, old feuds flared, devouring the Isles from the inside. Folk grew furious, claiming there was no one to mediate, resolve quarrels. But then Bran would return with loot, throw a feast, let the mead flow in rivers, and everyone loved him again.
Farewell.
Chimenea gigante. ¿Qué anda,
That sword, you're pestering me.
Mira esa espada. Manda viendo la espada. Ah, bueno, ya hablé con ella, pero ¿y el don? Ya me espera el don.
Very names be cursed.
That caught a turn.
¿Dónde está el gordito, güey?
Brand those swords.
Crash.
Telling you,
Está.
Geralt, since you and Hjalmar defeated the ice giant together, I see you as one of our own.
I got the look of a Skelliger.
You've got the heart of an Uncrit.
Your daughter. First woman to rule Skellige.
She'll be a good queen, knows what she wants.
Yeah. So what does she want?
To unite all of Skellige's clans. A difficult task. No one has ever managed it. But Ceres is stubborn.
Thinking long term then. Think she'll succeed?
She's got a powerful ally. In me.
The massacre during the feast. Know anything new?
Thanks to you and Ceres, we know who's responsible. It's enough for me.
Not gonna try to capture the berserkers?
They were but tools, Wolf. I'd rather sever the hand that wields the sword than merely break steel.
What's new in Skellige?
Of late, look seaward and you'll see their sun on a sail, staring right back. We've yet to capture any of their crew, but only a fool wouldn't know they're planning something.
El rey gordito. Me
See
quería.
ya, crack.
See you, crack. Entonces él duerme abajo y el otro vato. Ah, cerrado.
Joining the raid or no?
Bueno, vámonos.
That caught a turn.
Bueno, eso también lo quiero hacer. No sabía que había pasado. Ahora sí. Pero tengo que recoger la recompensa antes de Patito Feo. Carmor. Ya voy a volver. Piel de Lobo. Sí. Tengo que hacer esta. ¿Por qué tendrá tono azul rosa? Me gusta, pero... Ahora del palacio para acá. Desastre del hombre lobo del jardín, pero ya lo hice. Bueno, es cierto, el perro revive.
That's the way to win respect,
Skelligan.
Something I've always wondered.
You're you dimwit! Drop one more and I'll keelhaul you!
Got a minute?
Preparing my boat, can't you see? Nilfgaardian dogs were the hunter's son.
Got bigger game in mind. Morkvarg.
Ah, so them's your apples. Alright, ask away. In praise of Freya.
You were there when Morkvarg raided the garden. Heard you alone survived.
True. I managed to flee. Great Mother was looking out for me that day.
But she didn't give a lick about the priestesses.
Apparently. Morkvarg had them bound, then slit their throats like horses for the sacrifice. And he laughed. Understand? He laughed. But Archpriestess Ulver cursed him with her dying breath. You are beastly now, remain so forevermore. Ah, saintly woman.
What happened to Morkvarg?
Hard to believe, but fur rose through his skin, and his mug stretched forth into a muzzle like a dog's or a wolf's. He howled, long and grieving, then lunged at his men. They tried to run, but he was fast as lightning. As he killed them, clamped his jaws round their throats, they turned to ash, just like that. Ash that seeped from twixt his fangs.
Not good. Curse must be complex, multi-leveled.
Such is the Great Mother's power.
Thanks for your help.
Goddess, guide your sword.
Chingo, tenía que preguntar.
Greetings.
You were...
But Art...
Didn't help the priestesses. Why not?
How could I? Alone against a dozen raiders that... Why are you staring?
Just wondering. You people, obsessed with honor, courage, and so on. But you just cut and run? Strange.
I ain't proud of it. Since that day, I've been seeking a worthy death at sea. Seems the goddess, she's not seen fit to summon me yet.
Thanks for your help.
Goddess, guide your sword.
Respect, Witcher.
Fresh meat!
Fresh meat. Bueno, ahora vamos. Vamos a viajar rápido, o sea, cerquita. Pues técnicamente está cerca, pero somos flojos, así que viaje rápido. ¿Hermano de qué? Güey del clan.
Like your own kid. Think it's true.
Sí, de la cabeza de otro hombre lobo. Al fin tenemos muchos. No abrí. Hay que darle la vuelta. ¿Cómo le di la vuelta? Por aquí. Luego por aquí. estaba el pozo. Aquí. Ah, qué putazos. Si vamos a jugar con él. Si llega Galcito, ¿no? Galcito hace divertido jugar algo que ya murió desde hace mucho tiempo.
One of Freya's priestesses. No signs of violence. Doesn't stop easily. Must have died of hunger a while ago.
Cabrón. Y mi amigo el lobo. ¿Qué? Bueno, mínimo ya va a estar abierto esto. Chinga.
Morkvark doesn't give up easily.
Pero lo maté. Piel de lobo. Ah, pues era esa. Ah, ajá. Pero ya estoy aquí, no está. Morbark. Ya ni siquiera suena que esté aquí. Se arruiné la misión con la misión. Lobo. ¿Dónde están? Solo aparecen dos lados, una pasando el lago y la otra... Ok, en la cueva, de ahí vengo. es afuera. ¿Cómo voy para allá afuera? Eso está en el cerro, hija. ¿Qué pedo? Es pura montaña. Tal vez arruine la misión. Ok, tengo que esperar muchos días hasta que aparezca mi amigo Lobo. Lobo. Mamá, mira, aquí aparece. Una hora, que pendejo. Lobo, estás aquí. Lobo, estás acá. Que ve, ahí está ya la montaña, ¿verdad? Ay, casi lo logro. Está bien, está bien. Nada. Sigue bugueado el cielo. Lobo. Ah, ya sé, tal vez de noche. ¿No? ¿Ni así?
Claw marks. Craven slammed the door in Morkvarg's face. Claw marks. Craven slammed the door in Morkvarg's face. Waited a long time for death to come.
está. Sí, sé que lo maté, pero no debería aparecer. ¿No que estaba maldito? Se está bañando abuelo el lobo. No lo sé, Rick. Es que ve, yo solo en montañas y a huevo quiere que vaya para allá. Esta es la entrada del agua. Y aquí no me va a dejar subir. Unas cabras. Ya ves, no hay cómo subir. Se patina el güey. Esta es la casa de un arborista. Son las viejas enotadas.
It's time I went home.
Greetings. What may I help you with this time?
Morkvarg, got a few more questions. Notice I read didn't mention a curse.
All who live here know of it.
Could be, but I'm not from around here. Could use some information.
Archpriestess Ulva cast the curse. It bound Morkvarg to the garden for all time. So even if he is killed, he returns there.
Never heard of this Morkvarg. What is it exactly?
Not what, who. The worst man Skellige has ever known. He held nothing sacred, raided the lands of his own clan, took gold from Nilfgaard, murdered women heavy with child, and children he...
I know the type.
They said he feared but one thing, albeit secretly, the wrath of the gods. Morkvarg decided to prove everyone, himself included, wrong. So he came to Hindisfjall to raid the goddess's garden. This was years ago. Archpriestess Ulva stood in his path. He stabbed her in the breast and cast her into the mud. As her blood gushed forth, she cursed Morkvarg, and he transformed into a monster.
Never.
Not the work.
I know that.
They said he... Archpriest...
Might have already run into this Morkvarg. He, werewolf?
I know not. I'm afraid I've never seen him.
Shame that. Was hoping you could tell me more about him, help me with my work.
You might speak with Toradar's son, Einar. He saw Morkvarg and his men descend on the garden. He was the sole pilgrim to escape with his life that day. Settled in Larvik, you'll find him at the landing there, provided he's not at sea.
Farewell.
The goddess protect you from all evil.
You who grant us love, hatred, and strength.
Why does the goddess bring you here?
Brought myself here, seems to me.
You do not worship Freya.
No, but I respect those that do, including her priestesses.
This does you credit, but is meaningless as well. For Freya rewards and punishes those of other faiths and infidels as she does her own. Worship her and it will help, though it will settle nothing. What do you need?
Tell me something about this temple, could you?
It happened once that Freya lost her favorite white cat. She scoured the Isles and finally found him here. Freya's heart filled with joy and she blessed this place. A temple was then established here.
Didn't know Freya was into cats.
Your ignorance speaks poorly of you. The white cat is the goddess's sacred animal and has deep symbolic significance. This temple is for those who seek Freya's help in finding what they desperately seek. Perhaps even you shall experience her grace. Scorn her not. Or have you friends so powerful that you can afford to spurn divine aid?
Mind if I have a look at your wares?
Ese sí.
Farewell.
Welcome to the Temple of Freya. I'm Kirisu. How can I help?
You a novice? Because I'd never take you for a priestess.
Truly? You've got a good eye. Though a bit off in this case. I'm neither a priestess nor a novice. I escaped a pirate ship, was wounded. That's why I'm here. Sisters Astrid and Dala found me on the beach, near dead. They brought me to the temple, watched over me. I owe them my life.
Quite the adventure. Got a home to go back to, or will you stay here?
I've a brother in Ard Skellig. He's surely mad with grief searching for me. Once I'm better, all better, I'll find a longship and head home.
So long.
¿Por qué brilla el juego? Bueno, no es el Xbox, entonces es el juego. A ver, guardar. Sí, hay que cerrarlo todo. Oh, que se pendejo. ¿Quién sabe por qué? Arkskelly. Chale, no puedo hacer la misión del hombre lobo. ¿Para qué lo maté ese rato? Aparecen dos localizaciones. Una es la cueva y el otro es seleccionado desde la casa de la zona de jardín en la que se pasa. Chale. Todo eso y no lo encontré. Qué malo soy.
His long search for Ciri led Geralt to conclude that Uma, the ugliest man alive and the victim of a curse, was the key to finding the young woman.
¿Qué culpa tiene Uma? La decía más bien chido. Nos ayudó Uma. Ya está color normal del juego, sigue en tono coreano. Ah, bien. ahí está. No, ¿por qué? ¿Por qué me haces esto? Ve, me acerco y se va hasta la nieve y no puedo ir allá. ¿Sí puedo? Ahí camina en la nieve. No, no hay. No, pues es el regreso, qué pendejo. No, pues lo más alto también es aquí. ¿Cómo hago esa pinche misión? Cerrado. A ver si salto ahí. No, Gerardo, no, ya toda esta chinga. Se está crasheando bien feo. No, ya volviste. Bueno, en la cueva no está. Y debería estar en la casita, ¿no? Ya, si no está en la casa. Ni modo. Está demonios. Vamos a hacer Patito Feo. ¿Cómo salgo de aquí? ¿Qué no me sale por aquí? para hacer esa misión.
His long search for Ciri led Geralt to conclude that Uma, the ugliest man alive and the victim of a curse, was the key to finding the young woman.
Ya que estamos aquí, hacemos esto y hablamos con la muchacha.
Geralt, good of you to come by. What can I do for you?
Grow.
What are you selling? What's good?
Te iba a vender candela, estas cosas que no necesito. Los trofeos son míos. Eso no. Épale, ¿qué es esto?
Take care now.
Perro, ya ni aparece allá abajo. Hombres del varón.
Could use some hair of the hound. Got any vodka?
Vamos a guardar los trofeos. No, eso no. Dame a Uma, perro, tú ni lo quieres.
Need to talk to you.
About?
Uma, gonna take him with me.
Believe you meant to say you've come to ask my permission to take him. I am in charge now, so...
Not about to ask for anything. I'm telling you. You can try to stop me. But then I'll bring your enlightened reign to an end. An abrupt and premature end.
Think you got me shaking in my boots?
You sure as hell should be.
Fine. Cripple's not worth no blood. See the groom. He ought to be glad to give him up. Bugger's been eating from the feed bags. And a pleasant journey to you both.
Thank you kindly.
Nothing here for you.
Culo, culo. Debe estar bueno retardo.
I'm taking Uma.
There ain't a...
Sergeant Hartle said I could.
Bring him back though, won't you? Be awful dull without him.
Need.
No, not about to bring him back. Open the door, now.
Pobre Uma.
Hey, little guy. This here's Roach. She'll take us to Kaer Morhen. Well, come on.
Uma.
What the? Quit saying that. Let's go.
Está chido Uma. Me recuerda a mi amigo Patito.
Looks like we got company. Nilfgaardian battle mounts. What do you want? Then he ought to ask somebody else for help. Sure about that?
Pedro, ¿por qué no se oye?
Fine. Lead the way.
¿Ya se bugueó? No. En la escuela de brujas. Ah, ese güey.
And the Third Army will sweep in from the west to take Bangli.
If I may, Your Imperial Majesty, our spies report that the garrison at Bangleen consists almost wholly of mercenaries.
Bribery, then.
We stand to lose exactly no men in battle.
And we stand to lose less time. Very well. Give the orders. Then set sail.
As you wish. At once.
Your Imperial Majesty, Yennefer.
Yuma.
I did not have you brought here for an exchange of courtesies. Report.
Ah, chinga tu madre.
No courtesies needed. Perfect. But remember, I'm not your soldier, or page, or dog, so don't give me any orders.
Would you prefer I order my guards? Look around. I need only beckon.
Dale, perro.
Now report.
Ciri. Well, this man is the key to finding her.
I give you 3 solid leads. Trails as fresh as morning dew. The aid of my spies and my court sorcerers. Yet in my daughter's stead, you bring me this monstrosity? I hope you have more to say. For your sake.
Listen, I'm looking for a needle in a haystack. A needle that at any moment can...
It's a difficult task, I know this. What of it? Listen to me. I rule the largest empire the world has ever known. I wage a war against the North, command men in tens of thousands, while at home the trade corporations and nobles seek to depose me. You cannot expect me to pity you the difficulty of your task.
Ay, pobrecito, güey.
I pursued those leads you gave me. Ciri first reappeared in Skellige with a mage, an elf. Yen knows more.
The Wild Hunt tracked them down, found them there. They were forced to flee to Velen,
where they were separated. Ciri spent some time with a local warlord, a self-styled baron who...
Yes, I know my vassals.
Who helped her get to Novigrad, where Ciri crossed some of the city's underworld bosses. She had to flee, went back to Skellige, ran into her elf companion there.
And into the Wild Hunt, again. Ciri and the elf fled, out to sea this time. Their boat returned to shore the next day, with only him on board.
The information appears of little use, though at least it seems you kept busy.
This monstrosity might well be your daughter. Its body is the product of a curse someone hides inside it.
Can you lift this curse?
I've done a great deal of research, made inquiries, but to lift it I would need to know the words used to cast it, and that...
Vafel Elen, Kedmil Fali, Gladiv Dorn Eptened, Bandro Ithne Iakis. Dandelion told me. Ciri talked to him about it.
At last, you provide a pleasant surprise. Lady Yennefer, my question stands.
Yes. I believe I can. But I must...
The details do not interest me. Geralt, you've achieved precious little, yet admittedly more than the bumblers in my spy corps have. I give you half the promised reward. You will receive the other when you bring me Ciri.
Per 4,000.
Wouldn't count on that happening.
That was no request, it was an order, Geralt. And I advise you well, do not disobey me. This audience is over. Till the next.
Could have used some of that famous biting wit of yours. Where'd it disappear to? I mean, you were meek as a novice at Aretusa called into the dean's office.
I merely know when I can indulge my pride and when I must swallow it. Unlike some others, I know.
Ah, I see. So you show your claws to me because I'm a lowly witcher, but...
Do you really wish to do this now, Geralt? We can fight another time, in another place, where the walls have no ears.
So, how do we lift Uma's curse?
We must take him to Kaer Morhen. Oh, and Geralt, forgive me, but I'm unable to teleport you, Uma, and Roach, so...
Don't worry, we'll ride there. Never did like teleporting.
Take care of yourself.
Wait. Here. Probably better if you keep it.
Of course. I'm off.
Así es, para este juego es eso, güey.
Siri led Geralt to conclude that Uma, the actress alive and the victim of a curse, was the key to finding the young woman. Geralt needed to lift the curse. So he took Uma to the home of the world's greatest specialists on dark spells. To the Witcher's fortress of Kaer Morhen.
Kaer Morhen. Kaer Morhen. Está bien raro como hablan, cabrón. Una semana más tarde, nada menos, una semana, güey. Pobre Roach, güey. No, más está durmiendo, güey. Oh, gracias. Oh, there, Roach.
Forktails this close to the fortress? Someone's been slacking off.
Esa madre, qué pedo. Ah, ya ves, por no ver la historia, pa. Esto es esencial, lo que estás viendo. Mi buen pana, el Puma.
Been away quite a while.
Y ese es el mero bueno.
And your journey, how was it?
Calm, if you don't count the forktail that flew over our heads a few miles back. Passenger got a little restless.
What have we here? Multiple deformities. Eyes, ears, nostrils, a hair lip. And is this... Now, calm down. Yennefer was right on one count. Thing sure isn't pretty.
Don't look all that nice yourself. How'd you get so dirty?
Huh? Ah, this. I was mixing some lime for the mortar. Need to patch up the walls before they crumble.
Lot of work for one person. Lambert and Eskel not willing to help? Don't see the sense in it?
No. Yennefer found more important things for them to do.
Yen's here already?
And how?
Huh. You two argue?
Geralt, I understand she's a... well, how do I put this? Emancipated, strong-willed woman. But do manners count for nothing? She teleports in, not even a nice to see you, jumps right into a we've a curse to lift, there's this to do and that. So Eskel and Lambert get going. Then she went to the guest room to rearrange things. Threw the bed off the balcony.
Shame. That was a good bed.
Said the same myself. Solid oak frame, down mattress. Triss always said she... Ah, now I see.
It's either that, or Yen really hates oak furniture. So what's Yen planning?
Wish I knew.
Mean she didn't tell you?
She told us what she needs to lift the curse, not what she plans to do with it, despite our asking.
She's up to something.
Glad you noticed.
So where is everyone?
Eskel's hunting forktails. Gotta nip that infestation in the bud. And since Yennefer needs to distill some ingredients from their organs, well, like they say, 2 birds, 1 stone. Lambert's still in the keep, preparing to venture into the mountains to enrich the phylactery with elemental power.
And Yen?
Assembling a megascope. Wanted my help running around with some chirping contraption, searching for something. But I'm too old for that nonsense.
I should let her know I'm here.
If you say so, but don't go thinking she'll throw her arms around your neck.
Habla con el árbol sobre viajar al círculo de los elementos. Mira mi pana el UMA, güey. Quita ese señor, no me deja ver. Le pusieron cascabeles y una campanita. Gandallas con mi pana el UMA. Ah, volví a Carmarian.
Must be Eskel's prints. No one else has left the keep recently.
Es que sigo las dejando, es que con tus sentidos. Ay, güey. Se ve bien chido. Este perro. Oh, la espada. Ah, sí, traigo el equipo katana.
That's his horse. What's its name? Scorpion? Beautiful animal. Eskel made camp here. Looks like he planned to stay outside a while. Footprints and hoofprints. A goat. Interesting. Rocks. Tracks end here. Great. Could try to follow my nose. Can't smell Eskel, but there is the goat. Just gotta find a sample of its scent.
Ah, chale, no hay que subir simplemente. Ah, desde aquí se ve. Ah, qué chida se ve. Muchas montañísimas, güey.
Bits of bark. Looks like Eskel's goat rubbed against this tree. A clump of goat hair. Ugh, the stench. Giving me no choice.
Lobo, ven para acá, güey.
Eskel's tracks. The nose knows. Didn't tie itself to this stake.
Blanquita.
Supposed to be forktail bait. Guess it works for witchers as well.
Otro brujo.
As for forktails, bait them thusly. Pound a stake in the soil, bind a goat to it, then hide ye in near to shrubbery post haste.
Brother Adalbert's Bestiary, page 82. See your memories back in full, and sharp as ever in spite of your years.
You're as old as I am, wise guy. Don't let the gray hair fool you.
Good to finally see you again.
You too. How are things?
Same old, same old. Another day, another drowner.
That it?
I'm a simple witcher wolf. Don't fight dragons, don't fraternize with kings, and don't sleep with sorceresses. Unlike some.
Try to limit myself to the sorceresses from now on.
No doubt the most pleasant part. Though I'm not sure it ain't the most dangerous, too. Shh. Hear that? Incoming.
Yo ya vencí uno de esos. A ver dónde están. Ah, mira un Jin. Constructo. Ah, pues habían dicho, yo peleé así nomás. Dracónidos. Colmena. Esta, ¿no? Y...
There it is. Nest.
Big bastard!
We can handle this. Well, how long you gonna make me wait?
Cámara, perro, quémala, güey.
Damn it! It's taking off! Hit the wings!
Bueno, esa no se comió la cabrita. Ah, fuck.
Foul, overgrown reptiles. Hate it when they do that. Might have saved us some trouble. Let us kill it now.
Bleeding heavily.
From an artery. Blood's light colored. Can't fly much further.
Sigue el rastro de sangre. Ah, sí le duele al perro.
Not scared to leave the horse down below? Forktail could decide to have at him.
Scorpion's a warhorse. A purebred Kedwenny. He'll be fine. Have I told you how I got him?
No, don't think so.
Saved his lost night once. You know, woods, dark, wolves, the standard. Told him, give me what you find at home and all that. No kid this time, but his mare had just foaled.
Eskel and Scorpion, bound by fate. An enchanting tale.
Mock me all you want. You're just jealous.
Ah, qué bonito se ve, no manches.
The old hen she cackled. She cackled on the fence. The old hen she cackled. And she ain't cackled since.
Perdón, lo tengo que ver.
What's that song?
Some old hill folk tune. Perfect for hiking. My mom sang it to me.
You remember her?
Just that silly song. Nothing else.
Chinga, como, ¿por qué por este camino me voy a caer, güey? Ah, se metió en una cueva.
Fled to its lair, looks like.
Good. Means it's done for. Gonna make a stand.
Es listo, es listo. Pero lo vamos a patear. Aquí te sale un pinche. Ay, cabrón, aquí está, güey. Tiene que ver lo que empecé, perro. Ay, güey. Ah, me dio. Maldita manquez. Ah, cabrón, ¿qué pedo?
All right, let's collect the spinal fluid and get out of here. Cut into its back, just below the skull.
Yen tell you why she wants this?
Mean you don't know? And that, doesn't bug you?
No, it doesn't. I trust her.
And they say people learn from their mistakes.
What was that?
Nothing, nothing.
Something about Yen bothering you? Come on, grow a pair. Give it to me straight.
You grow a pair and admit she tricked you more than a few times.
That was then. Yen's changed.
Right. Fine, never mind. Let's go.
Ese güey quiere ayer al más que el otro. Cefalorraquídeo. Me quedó lo demás. Oh, espera. ¿No hay tesoritos? Estos güeyes tienen tesoros. No hay ni más. Oh, espera. ¿Qué es eso? Yo voy, ¿no que no? ¿Ya es todo? ¿Ya es todo? Ay. Aquí hay un tesoro. ¿Y aquí qué hay? Nada. Viejo, ya vi la de Wonka. Esta de vos nomás véala en inglés. ¿Por qué? ¿En español no te late, pa? ¿De qué trata esa galcito? Tú que sabes acá muchas cosas. Va, entonces nomás déjalo guardo y ya
jugamos. What do you say to a little race? Maybe see who's faster, Roach or Scorpion. And who's the better rider.
Not really a challenge, because I could beat you riding a lame sow. But why not?
You're a lame sow yourself. First to care Moorhen wins.
Cerda coge, qué pena. Tengo poder de guión, perro, seguro. Además podemos drogar a los caballos, si te acuerdas de eso, ¿verdad? ¿Por qué es el idioma original? ¿Estás diciendo que no vale la pena doblar las películas, Gael? Pues a veces sí lo vale. El perro tuve más lento, yo no. Oh, sí.
Finally. Took you a while.
Saddle kept sliding.
Not a crappy show dancer out there who doesn't blame her shoes.
You're a fucking show dancer. But one who's damn good on horseback. Didn't wager anything, but can't help thinking you deserve a prize.
Since you insist.
Here. Use it wisely.
Ah, ¿me diste experiencia? Ah, botas de montañas. Volví a Carmoran. Qué chido. Veneno del ahorcado. Se va para un Colihendido. Patito Feo. Puntos disponibles. Pues ahora que me estoy metiendo más en ese mundo de ver las películas en el me late. Así yo aprendí. Aprendí más que en la escuela. Aunque no lo creas, la entendí hasta la universidad. Buen juego, buen juego.